here, like 5 rows back, with the blue. Lee.
Oh, I see now.
He's gonna so it's gonna be very simple. Is your mic working? Yep.
Thank you for being here. We should get you on the 6:15 announcements that the kids can come to.
Yeah, unfortunately now for the next 4 months we're in Carson. Sometime during the summer when I'm in Nashville.
Yeah.
So the boys can come.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm thinking coming next year.
Yes, true. Even if I'm not joining them.
Tap, tap, tap. All right, we're going to start in just a moment. If you can, kind of move in together. Try not to have too many empty spaces between you and your neighbor. Just try to move in close. Try to listen to the rabbi. Let my voice hypnotize you. You will move in closer. See, I told you this mic's not working. They're not doing what I said. Come on, you guys. All right, David, take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to Congregation Ner Tamid as we celebrate our 51st year as a special place to belong. I'm David Cherry, and I have the honor of being a member of the Temple Board. And on behalf of all my fellow board members, I want to say welcome to tonight's very special Shabbat services. To all our members, thank you for your continued support. And to all our guests, we are so glad that you could join us this evening. And a well-deserved mazel tov to all those who are here to celebrate with our adult B'nai Mitzvah class. And speaking of joining, please join us next Friday, January 31st at 7 p.m. for our Congregant of the Year and New Member Shabbat, which will be led by our 11th and 12th graders. Help us welcome our new members from last year and honor our amazing Congregant of the Year, Michelle Blank. C&T Sisterhood is hosting their annual Flower Power Challah making event on Tuesday, February 4th at 6 p.m. in our social hall. Each challah kit is $25, which reserves your spot and includes a light meal, so please join the sisters for an evening of challah and chutzpah. Sisterhood will also be hosting their Tu B'Shvat celebration on Thursday, February 13th at 6 p.m. in our social hall. Help celebrate the new year of the trees with fun, friends, and a delicious vegetarian meal. C&T Next Gen is our organization for young adults age 21 to 40-ish. And guess what? We're now on Instagram. So if you're on Insta, be sure to follow us at CNT_NextGen for all the latest updates on upcoming events. And NextGen will be holding a paint and sip Havdalah on Saturday, February 8th at 7 p.m., as well as trivia on Wednesday, February 12th at 6:45 p.m. at Slater's 50/50. I know that's a lot of things to remember, but the good news is all of these events and more are listed on the CNT website, so please feel free to visit that, and you can find all of this information on the calendar on our CNT website. And before we move on, I would like to invite a special guest up to the Bima, Lee Steinberg, if you'd please come forward. Lee is going to share with us a little about the very moving art display that I hope you all had a chance to see that's out in our lobby this evening. Welcome, Lee.
Thank you. So, over a year ago, our lives were turned upside down. Our families in Israel were here, and life will never be the same again. But I noticed that as the year drew on, I kind of went into my regular life and didn't, it was there, but it wasn't in the forefront. And then I started seeing these art pieces by Zeev Engelmeyer, who ever since October 7 has been drawing a daily postcard of the lives of the victims, their families, the hostages, and I was deeply touched. People write their stories to him, and he draws them and publishes them. And so I contacted the artist, and we came to an agreement, and I'm hosting this show of his art. He's been traveling all over Israel and all over the world, talking about art and activism. His pictures of the hostages have been made into big signs in the protests in Israel calling for the return of the hostages. So I brought this here. This is just to bring it back to the forefront of our hearts and our minds and keep there in our prayers and in our deeds. And I encourage you to look at it. There's a table. We are collecting donations for the rebuilding of Kibbutz Kfar Aza. So this is a completely donation-based exhibit. And I encourage you to walk around, look around. There's also a big drawing of the map of hope. And I encourage you to write. There's markers there, and you can write your well-wishing and hope for Israel on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee, and thank you, David. I want to hear somebody pray. I want to hear somebody pray down in the valley and over yonder. I want to hear somebody pray. I want to hear somebody sing. I want to hear somebody sing down in the valley and over yonder. I want to hear somebody sing. What do you want to hear, see, feel, experience? Alex, something's wrong with my microphone. It's very tinny up here. Peace. I want to see peace in our world. I want to see peace in our world. Down in the valley and over yonder. I want to see peace in our world. Anyone else? Don't be shy. This is your moment. Laugh. I want to hear somebody laugh. I want to hear somebody laugh. Down in the valley and over yonder. I want to hear somebody laugh. Marietta. Drink grape juice? What? Gratitude. Okay. I want to see, feel, experience gratitude. I want to feel gratitude down in the valley and over yonder. I want to feel gratitude. Any other ones? Oh, I just sing. Sing. You want to go back to sing? I want to hear somebody sing. What was that? Joy. Okay, let's go with that. I want to feel joy. I want to feel joy down in the valley and over yonder. I want to feel joy. can see this is a very special service. It's still very echoey up here, Alex. Very special service. That all of our services are quite special, but Shabbat in the Round is that service where we gather round and we experience the joy of Shabbat together, usually looking at one another. Now, we're music of Shabbat in the Round tonight because it's for a joyful reason. We have our adult B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow morning, and all of you as the guests are going to be joining in a beautiful lunch together, and so we needed our Shabbat in the Round space, and it's too cold outside, so here we are in the sanctuary experiencing the music of Shabbat in the Round with a little bit of a twist. For those of you who know our program Levlock, it is a special collaboration with my friend Deidre Perry with Heart Math and Musar, our beautiful tradition of spiritual development, enlightenment. And we're going to teach you a little bit of it tonight so that you get a taste of it and maybe want to be part of it more often. And maybe we'll infuse it more often into our services. You'll understand what it is as we go along. So tonight we gather and we say, Hine Matov Umanaim, how good it is to be gathered together as one community, one voice on this very special Shabbat. So we bring in the light of Shabbat, and we invite up our adult B'nai Mitzvah class to light those Shabbat candles. I'll invite you to go up the stairs to my left, all the way around so that you don't trip. And as they make their way up here, we're going to join together in more of a nigun, a wordless melody. Bring in the light of Shabbat.
La
Now we turn now to our friend, our specialist in getting our hearts to breathe together, to Deidre, to give us a piece of what it means to be part of Lovelock. We're going to do something called a freeze frame all together.
So, freeze frame is one of the techniques that we do during Lovelock, and normally we take a little bit longer, but for today I just want to give you a little sample of this one. And so the reason why this is so important is that, you know, we all face moments where we feel things that we need some clarity about, when we're not really sure how to respond or what to do next, just how to handle a situation. So freeze frame, it's just a simple technique that helps us pause and reflect and respond with more clarity and care. It's about creating a little space to think about how we can handle something with a bit more clarity and responsibility. We call it, there's power in the pause. So what you want to do first is start by thinking about a situation in your life where you're feeling stuck or unsure, or it could just be something small that you that you're having a challenge with. So if you can just take a moment, I'm sure there are many things, but if you can take one thing, just focus on something that's really kind of been on your mind. And once you do that, I want you to then notice how you feel about it and get really clear on what that feeling is. It could be frustration or sadness or worry, whatever that is for you. I want you to focus on something that you need to make a decision on and how you feel about it. Now the next step is, I want you to close your eyes and just get really comfortable in your chair. And I want you to start by taking a nice inhale through the nose and exhale. Another inhale through the nose and exhale. And when you exhale, you can exhale through the mouth or nose, whichever is most comfortable for you. I want you to create this rhythmic breathing, where you're going in through the nose and exhaling. Now I want you to focus your attention in the center of the heart. And just imagine that your breath is flowing in and flowing out of the center of your heart as you begin to breathe in more slowly and more deeply than you usually do, but just find a rhythm that feels really easy and comfortable. Continuing with your rhythmic breathing, focusing your attention in the center of the heart. Imagine that every breath is gently flowing in and flowing out of the center of your heart as you continue to breathe in more slowly and more deeply than you usually do, so finding that rhythm that feels really easy and comfortable. And while you're breathing this way, I want you to see if you can re-experience a renewing feeling like gratitude or joy or appreciation for someone or something. Even if you think of that word joy, whatever comes to mind, that feeling of joy or that feeling of gratitude, I want you to re-experience that feeling and bring that feeling right into the center of your heart. As you continue with your rhythmic breathing, whatever renewing feeling that you've chosen, I want you to bring that feeling right into the center of your heart as you imagine that every breath is flowing in and flowing out of the center of your heart or chest. And while you're breathing this way, still focusing your attention in the center of the heart, still re-experiencing that renewing feeling that you've chosen, I want you to now recall what you thought of, what you're kind of focusing on, whatever that thing is and how you feel about it. And from this more objective place, I want you to ask yourself, what is the best way to handle this situation? And just quietly observe any subtle changes in perceptions or feelings or attitudes about it. As you continue to inhale through the nose and exhale, still focusing your attention in the center of the heart, still imagining that breath flowing in and flowing out of the center, still re-experiencing that renewing feeling. Just taking a moment, just creating this pause, this space, as you focus on whatever it is that you were thinking about and feeling about, and asking yourself again, what is the best way to handle the situation? And just quietly observe any subtle changes in attitudes or feelings or perceptions about it. As you continue with your rhythmic breathing, so focusing your attention in the center of the heart. Imagine that breath flowing in and flowing out of the center. As you still re-experience that renewing feeling that you've chosen. Continuing with your rhythmic breathing. And because of time, I'm going to shorten it up a little bit, but I want you to take one more inhale through the nose and exhale. And as I end, I just want to say that this freeze frame just reminds us to pause and reflect and to choose a thoughtful response. I know tonight we're going to talk about responsibility, and I just wanted to say that responsibility isn't about fixing everything perfectly. It's about being intentional and aware of how we respond to challenges in our lives, and even small, thoughtful actions like this, just taking a few moments to pause and reset ourselves, can really create meaningful change for ourselves and for those around us. Thank you.
So we take that feeling of calm, that feeling that Deidre described in the center of our hearts, and we open them wide, and we welcome in the Shabbat angels.
Shalom Aleichem Malachei Asharei Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem Leshalom Malachei Ashalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Shalom Aleichem Baruchuni Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzedchem L'Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Aleichem Shalom
More hard words here for you to join in. The words, doot, doot, doot.
Come all of you. of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come, come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Do do do, 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 Blessed is the blessed one. Blessed is the giver of blessing. Blessed in this moment now and every now too. Blessed is the blessed one. Blessed is the giver of blessing. Blessed in this moment now and every now too. Come, come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come, come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. We rise for our Baruchu, our call to worship. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam. Come, come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come, come all of you, come all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
And you shall love Adonai with all your soul, and all your mind, and teach these words, through day and night, to all your children, for it's their right, You wear them proudly as a sign upon your hand, and as a crown above your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates throughout all time. And you shall love Adonai with all your soul, and all your mind. Teach these words, through day and night, to all your children, for it's
So we experienced the part that is heart math, and now we're going to get a taste of what the Musar element is. Musar is a practice. Most of Judaism we find is steeped in text, and Musar is no different. But the practice of Musar is different. You actually have to engage in it. And there are midot, different traits that we all have as part of our lives that we walk through daily, things like gratitude and compassion and empathy, and we all can do better, and we all have a sense of where we're pretty good at these things. And the more we work at them, we discover which ones we need a little more help with and which ones we're doing okay with. And they help to guide us when things get tough. The thing about Musar is that you can't just do it tonight and think that life is just going to go on being easier than it was. It's a practice that takes a lot of follow through, a lot of practice, as we say. And so you can do it week after week, year after year, and you will begin to see how it can transform your life. So many of us have been going through difficult times. The world has been going through difficult times. There's been a lot happening between what's going on in Israel, the wildfires, perhaps politics. There's lots of things that stir us up and get us out of our seats. And so we're going to focus on the midah tonight of responsibility. In Hebrew, the word achrayut. When we get all stirred up, what is our responsibility to ourselves, to the world, to each other? We're going to think about that first through different passages in our text that discuss or frame achrayut, responsibility. And these will be read by our adult B'nai Mitzvah class. And I'll give it to you on my screen. It's a little bit bigger.
Abraham Joshua Heschel's inspiring statement: in a free society, few are guilty, but all are responsible in calling for an end to racism and economic injustice.
Genesis 18:19. For I have singled him, Abraham, out, that he may instruct his children and his posterity to keep the way of God by doing what is just and right, tzedakah u'mishpat, in order that the God may bring about for Abraham what God has promised him.
Alan Morinis teaches the Hebrew word for responsibility is achrayut, and one root of that word, acher, means other, bearing the burden of the other. Partially begins to answer the haunting question of what do we owe each other?
Rabbi Hillel said, "If I am not for myself, who will be for me? But if I am only for myself, what am I?"
We cannot wait to be perfect before we act. Instead, we have to move forward painfully aware of our individual accounting still underway to take collective responsibility imperfectly.
Some things to meditate on as we begin to explore this midah of responsibility, achrayut. Makes us think of the responsibility of the miracles. Is it just God, or do we have to take part in order for miracles to happen? As we come to our Micha Mocha, our prayer that said, "Who is like you, Adonai?"
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai?
You can clap.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. יאללה לילה, יאללה לילה לילה, יאללה לילה לילה, יאללה לילה לילה, יאללה לילה, יאללה לילה לילה, יאללה לילה לילה, יאללה לילה לילה. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai?
So when we lie down tonight, we often take for granted that we have a soft bed to lay in, heat when we're cold, shelter over our head. We sing Hashkivenu, thanking God for protecting us, not only physically, but spiritually. And we sing this prayer, Hashkivenu, thanking God for Sukkot Shlomecha.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, V'hamidenu Shomereinu L'chaim, L'chaim. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot Shlomecha. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot Shlomecha. When I lay my head down tonight beneath your shelter of everlasting light, God, may I wake to a world renewed.
As we prepare to go into our Amidah prayers, which are going to look a little different tonight, we usually say, Adonai tzvatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha Adonai. Open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. On Shabbat in the round, we say, Adonai ... Whatever it is that we are here asking God for tonight. Adonai, love me. Adonai, protect me, heal me, comfort me, give me strength. Whatever it is, it's our moment of selfishness. We are told here, pray for what it is that you want and need. And so we think about this midah, which we're going to talk about in just a moment, of achrayut, of responsibility. And we ask ourselves, with that mindset, with those glasses on, Adonai, what do I need?
Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, please love me, Adonai. Adonai, guide me, Adonai, guide me, Adonai, guide me, please guide me, Adonai.
So I invite you, as I did in the beginning, to fill in that blank, because your ... is going to be the same as somebody else's. Anybody? Heal.
Adonai, heal me, Adonai, heal me, Adonai, heal me, please heal me, Adonai.
Just throw it out there. Forgive.
Adonai, forgive me, Adonai, forgive me, Adonai, forgive me, please forgive me, Adonai. Adonai, protect me, Adonai, protect me, Adonai, protect me, please protect me, Adonai.
All right, one more. Hope. Oh, bring them home. Yes.
Adonai, bring them home, Adonai, bring them all home, Adonai, bring them home alive, please bring them home, Adonai.
Adonai, love me.
Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, please love me, Adonai.
So Tanya, can you hear me? While I talk, just go through the slides of Achrayut. Can she do that? No, I just, oh, they're not one at a time? Oh, cancel that idea. But go ahead and you can just put them all there. That's okay. It'll take them that long to read that small print. So achrayut, responsibility. What we want to do is to try to pick one of those, and they represent one of the prayers in the Amidah. That's what those represent. So I'm going to preface it with a story. because I like to tell stories. A lot of people don't know whether Jews believe in heaven or hell, but believe it or not, there are stories within the Hasidic and Jewish folklore tradition where we reference heaven and hell, or if that makes you uncomfortable, we can say heaven and heck, okay? So there was a guy, we'll call him Moshe. Moshe lived such a good life, and Moshe lived a not so good life. But one day, Moshe died. He opens his eyes, and there he is before the court of God, and there's a scale, good deeds and bad deeds. And God isn't sure what to do with him. He said, Moshe, it's never happened before in all of eternity, but your good deeds and your bad deeds, they measure up. Where do you want to go, upstairs or downstairs? And Moshe says, I'll tell you what, I don't know, because I've never been to either. So God, could you show me, downstairs, and then show me upstairs, and I'll know what to do. Okay, Moshe, for you, I'll do it. Turn around. And he turns around, he opens his eyes, and there, downstairs, he sees beautiful, beautiful trees, green grass, and he thinks, maybe he made a mistake. Maybe this is heaven, but God seemed pretty sure. So he kept walking, and there was a barn. And he walks into this barn, and he looks, and he sees this beautiful banquet. And there's a bell that appears, and the bell rings, and everybody comes, makes a circle around the banquet. He says, this is amazing. If this is heck, what is heaven going to be like? The bell rings again, and a fork appears. And the fork is 6 feet long. And it rings again, and he realizes why he's in hell. Because everyone takes that fork and tries to feed themselves, and they can't do it because that fork is 6 feet long, and all that food, and everyone starves. He says, God, get me out of here. Heaven has to be better. And God says, turn around. He turns around and opens his eyes, and there's the green grass and the trees and the birds. And he said, oh my God, it looks just like downstairs. Maybe God made a mistake. He goes to the barn and he looks at the beautiful food, and the bell rings, and they all come in and sit down, and he shudders because he knows what's coming next. And yes, there appears the 6-foot fork. And he can't bear the thought that even in heaven, everyone starves. The bell rings and everyone eats. What happened? The difference between hell and heaven is that instead of everyone trying to feed themselves, they fed their neighbor. Achrayut, responsibility. The knowledge that we are not the sum total of the world. We're part of a world, and it is our achrayut, our responsibility, to reach out as we can to feed, help, care for, embrace, pray for, express gratitude to our neighbor. So I challenge you, and for some it may be out of your comfort zone, so if you would, bear with me. Remember, as you entered, I asked if you would just kind of get a little closer, whether there was a reason for that. So I hope you'll bear with me. Usually when you sit in synagogue, you sit next to someone you know. Try to find someone you don't know so well. Maybe they're sitting behind you, but resist the temptation just to turn to, your child, or you might even have to stand up. And pick one of those and just take a few minutes, if you will, to talk about it. What is our responsibility? How do we create holiness in our midst? What responsibility do we have for our world? What is our responsibility to the last generation and the ones that come next? So go ahead and gently rise. Find someone and just pick one of them, maybe two, and just share amongst yourselves. Give it a try. Achrayut. Nice and quiet, so we don't disrupt the mood. So now we quietly find our ways back to our original seats as we continue. Thank you so much for participating with a full heart.
We can continue these conversations at the Oneg. I can't wait to hear what you came up with.
Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, Adonai, love me, please love me, Adonai.
We turn now to our prayer for healing. Many of us are in need of healing prayers. We look at our live stream for those of you not here in person, but here with us virtually, and we welcome you and say Shabbat Shalom and invite you to put the names of those you're thinking of in the chat at this time.
And so we take a few moments now for Misha Berach to think of those in our circle of family and friends who are in need of our prayers. And as we think of these prayers, we think of our responsibility. Is it simply to pray, or is it more than that? To go visit, to call them, to let them know how much you care, to perhaps do even more, or maybe you're limited by time and space and geography. But what is our responsibility beyond the Misha Berach? How do we become an agent of healing? So we think now of Joni Slatter, Mike Kaplan, Alan Kaplan, Charles Roberts, Paris Tzvia Bat Drevel, Olivi, Alan Lossoff, Carol Verwain, Robin Pence, Jennifer Ding, Logan Knapp and family, Shoshana Ham, Kim Botwin, Alana Bat Avram Aliyah, Amber Holdorf, John Hutchings. I always think of my sister Dina, and we think of our friends, family, countrymen in Medinat Israel, that whole region. Our hearts go out to all who are in need of healing. If you would like to say the name of someone for a prayer of healing, please simply stand and say their names. Just say the names as I look your way.
Vincent Rodriguez, David Roth, Lucy Roth.
So now we rise, arm in arm, we sing Misha Berach.
Sheberach Avoteinu Mekor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach Ibotenu Mekor habracha Lavotenu. Bless those in with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We remain standing, I believe. We remain standing for our prayer Aleinu, reminding ourselves it is up to us to change the world. Achrayut.
It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were freed to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. We are carrying the stories of the ones who came before. What stories will be told of us when we are here no more? We commit ourselves to action. It brings meaning to our days. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. It's up to us to own the vision. We are an answer to a call. It's up to us to live the words we speak for the benefit of all. It's up to us to bow down deeply. There's a broken world to raise. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. V'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
Please be seated for a moment. So you've gotten a little taste for Musar, for heart math, for what we call here Levlock, our own little hybrid fusion of these two practices, one secular and one sacred. If you can imagine, the light's completely off, and all that we're guided by is our Ner Tamid, and we sit on this bima in front of our Torahs. We sit, some on yoga mats, some laying down, some on pillows, some in chairs, and we experience our own midot, our own traits that guide us. Together, we share in a trait of that week. We do some journaling, we have some sound bath things. There's a mix of spiritual elements that bring us together and help guide us on our way. Things that you may not have even thought of as Jewish, but are very Jewish at their core. And so if you want to join us, we do this once a month at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday night. The next one will be in February. You'll have to just follow me on social media because I don't remember off the top of my head when it is. Do you remember off the top of your head? The 18th? That sounds right. Okay. And you're welcome to come. We do cut it off at 20 people because this is something that needs to be done in an intimate circle. So if you want to go, make sure that you let us know so that you can be here. So I want you to think one last time tonight about achrayut, about responsibility, and what that means to you. It's a word that can be intimidating, right? Because responsibility means you might need to do something. But it's also responsibility to ourselves, taking care of ourselves, growing, and just being and existing in the world. So sit with it, journal on it, breathe with it, carry it with you through the week. Maybe even join with a chavruta, with a partner, and discuss that midah, that trait of achrayut in your life.
Those who sow in tears will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. It's the song of the dreamer. From the dark place it grows, like a flower in the desert, the oasis of our souls. Come back where we belong. You who hear our longing sighs, our mouths, our lips are filled with song. You can see it from our tear-filled eyes. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy.
And again, if you're following us on the live stream, we invite you now to submit those you are thinking of who are no longer with us in the chat. Whether you have recently lost them, are observing Shloshim the first 30 days, Shana the first year, or Yortzeit, the anniversary of death, we invite you to put those names in the chat at this time.
And so we say Kaddish for those who have died in recent days: Devenka Banovic, Netta Gandhi, Charlie Roberts, Stephen Unger, Maxine Schoenwald. The Yortzites we recall are Harry Glasser, Harold Lerner, Ray Israel, Joanne Mullen, Miriam Scheinwald, Walter Breen, Rose Rubin, Marcia Friedmutter, Natalie Marcus, Edward Malinsky, Betty Edelman Brandis, Eli Davis, Fern Chenin, Abraham Braun, Lily Oberlander, H. Sam Prezant, Louis Birnbaum, Fred Jensen, Madeline Nitskin, Claude Wilton, Caroline Lewis, Sally Shapiro, Lucy Lunenfeld, Libby Krishanovich, Bernice Oren, Rose Jacobson, Arnold Poster, Lawrence Harris. If you'd like to say the name of someone special to you for Kaddish or Yortzeit, please simply stand and say their name. As we think of all of these, we rise for Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash me rabah, b'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchotei, b'chayechom v'yomechom chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala b'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehesh me rabah mevorach le'olam omei almaya, Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekusha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Dam yiram v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlomo rabba min shamai v'chayim. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru. Amen.
Those who sow in tears will reap in joy.
Right, please be seated. Adult B'nai Mitzvah class. please come on up and join Cantor for Kiddush and Motzi.
I have to say, I did a really good job on these sparkly kippot. If you could, they're just like sparkling everywhere.
Very nice. And Pam Henderson, their
Yeah, their
faithful teacher, done a beautiful job. We say that in anticipation of their beautiful job tomorrow. And those of you who are in town special, services started what time?
10.
All right, but for you, 9:59, okay? So 10 a.m. And we didn't get a chance to chat, but are they doing pictures beforehand?
I think so.
All right, so talk with your loved one. If you're doing pictures beforehand, you know, with someone special, make sure you come at that time slot.
And I want to give a big thank you for everyone that makes our services possible. It takes a village to put together services in general, but when they're creative services, it takes even more creative and amazing people. I want to thank our musicians. Tonight on the Bima, we have Brett Barnes, we have John Henderson, we have Brad Torchin, and we have Sarah Sayowitz, and we have Glory Rosenberger, and we have Maya Downs. So thank you to all of them for bringing their voices and their instruments to create this sacred song. I want to thank Deidre Perry for joining me on the Bima and always being ready to like figure out how to make something that we like a spark into an idea, into an actual program for all of you. So we do hope that you join us for Lovelock. We want to thank Alex, who is our sound aficionado, and I want to thank Tadia for our slide changing. And we want to thank Rabbi for always bringing his wisdom to our community. Our Shamashim, we have Dell, we have Brian, we have our ushers who greeted you at the door. We want to thank Lee Steinberg for bringing this beautiful art, what's it called? Installation, thank you. I'm like, the word is at the tip of my tongue. Installation for us to look at and to take in. It is quite beautiful. In every service, we light our extra Shabbat candle, hoping that we don't have to keep lighting that for the hostages who are not able to be home to light their own Shabbat candle. Please, God, may there be more. May they all be home next week, and hopefully we have 4 names that we hope get to come home in the next 24 hours. May they all come home very, very soon. Oh, thank you.
All right, we join together in the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
In our Motzi,
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
So, a special thank you, of course, to our cantor and to the band that has joined us and made this such a beautiful service. So thank you so much. And don't forget, whether you came from out of town or not, you have to be here next Friday. All right? Because we are going to honor Michelle as our congregant of the year and all the new members. So please, everyone, make your way back next Friday. Spread the word. It's going to also be a beautiful service. Thank you, Cantor.
we close with a prayer for peace. May there be peace in Israel, peace throughout the entire world. Oseh Shalom.
Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. Achad, shtayim, shalosh, arba. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one
Shabbat Shalom. Please enjoy our oneg, sponsored by our Adult B'nai Mitzvah class.
If you could return those special prayer books over there so we can use them next month. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.